Hi there. There have been a couple of changes made to this channel, which you might have noticed already. Some of you might have noticed an applause button, which I didn't put that there. I'm not sure when that showed up. That's new. There's also a join button down below the video player. And I do want to talk about that because I did put that there. And first I want to talk a little bit about the channel itself and kind of everything that's been going on with it. I started this channel on June 14th, 2016, which is a long time ago. And there are some of you who have been with this channel almost since the very beginning. You guys have been here a while. You know who you are. There's a couple of you. And you've probably seen, especially if you've been around for this long, this channel has gone through a few really big changes. And it started up initially, I created this channel to promote new items that were going up in my store. At the time, that seemed like a really good use of YouTube, but I hated it. I only made like 3 or 4 videos in that vein. It just felt really dishonest and disingenuous. I didn't like it at all, so I very quickly stopped doing that and decided instead to try to experiment with different video types, and that's when I started looking at doing the speed stitches. That's actually when I first started streaming on Twitch. You might know that there is another account that I was using before the one that I have now even, and was kind of trying to experiment with that, and I loved that, but it was very unsuccessful, and I stuck with that for way too long for it to really be successful. And I even stuck with it even after the channel itself kind of became a tutorial dumping ground, which was very successful. And those tutorials that I posted at that time are still some of my most popular videos I have put up. They're what drive the channel even today. And it was very successful, but it's not really what I wanted to do. There's a lot of stuff I've wanted to do that I just haven't been able to do. And recently, kind of at the end of the last year, the beginning of this year, around that time, I just took a big break and I decided that I really wasn't feeling YouTube. It wasn't doing what I wanted to do with it because what I wanted to do wasn't very successful. The algorithm doesn't super like my videos. The algorithm really likes those tutorials though, and I'll be talking about those a little bit more in a bit. But over the summer, I realized that I could get a lot more out of YouTube if I went back to what I was doing and just experimenting with different video types and making the content that I want to make. And that's what I've been doing. I've been experimenting with different formats, different ways of filming, and I've really fallen back into speed paints. Some of you might know I do have another speed paint channel that was just speed paints that I ran alongside this one, but having 2 different channels was just splitting up my focus way too much. So kind of putting everything together on one big channel has kind of helped me figure out what I've been wanting to do with this. And I've been getting back into traditional art, which I haven't really been into art for over a decade, because I used to do art full time. This used to be my job before I got into more fiber crafts and opened up my own store. I used to do art commissions, and it got to a point just with the types of people who buy a lot of art commissions and the amount of workload that I had to do to be able to pay my bills with that just got really overwhelming, and it got to a point where doing any kind of art was just really stressful. And getting back into art lately, which this channel has been very instrumental in doing that, I've realized why I was taking commissions in the first place. I do really enjoy taking commissions, but I don't want it to be my full-time job because I don't want to become completely dependent on doing that. So I've been really scaling back this time, and I've learned a lot on how to take commissions, how many commissions to take at a time, how to manage my queue. So I don't want to ruin my ability to even do art the way that I did last time. I don't want to get all burnt out. I don't want to lose that spark, basically. So that's why I've put that join button down underneath the video player, because That means that you, if you like these videos, if you like the content that I'm making, if you want to help me make more content, you can help me do that. And this join button, channel memberships, it's very similar to Patreon, but I'm going to be running it with very different perks. I do also have the Patreon, but Patreon and YouTube don't really play well together, I have noticed, because YouTube doesn't like it if you release a video privately or unlisted first and then release it publicly. Those videos don't perform as well. So that's why when I relaunched my Patreon last month, earlier this month, I don't know, what day is it? When I relaunched my Patreon, I did it specifically without including any video content. So with the YouTube channel members, this will be almost exclusively video content. There will be a little bit of overlap. You will get the line art that patrons get as well. You'll get an exclusive coupon, same coupon actually that patrons get, and I'm going to start putting everyone's names on end cards of these videos, which you'll start seeing on Monday's video when that goes up. As far as YouTube memberships, what you will get are exclusive behind-the-scene vlogs for everything that I am working on. So if I'm working on a commission, you'll get a vlog for that, other projects that I'm working on. And I've experimented with this format before, a couple years ago. I actually really enjoyed making these videos, and some other people really enjoyed them as well, but they weren't a good fit for the channel, and they actually wound up kind of, I think, pulling the overall channel down. So I'm going to be going back into doing those, but those will be exclusive member perks. So if you want to see those, you can hit the join button down there and you can get those as well. You'll also get to see early peeks at some of the projects that I'll be working on, which you guys will be able to help me work on those, because there's a lot of things I've wanted to experiment with and try out, but they're going to take a lot of time. And the channel memberships will help give me that time by allowing me to not take as many commissions, allowing me to not focus so much on putting new items in the store, allowing me to just do what I want to do and put it out there. And one of the things, I've been talking about this for a long time, over a year, I think, I've been talking about wanting to reshoot a big majority of the Cross Stitch 101 videos, because they were very old, they were filmed on a camera that wasn't great, the sound quality isn't great, and I want to fix that. And that's going to take a lot of time. That is a few months of work just right there. Another thing that I've wanted to do, there's a couple of animation projects that have been brewing around in my mind that I've really wanted to do, and anyone who knows anything about animation knows that it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of time that goes into it, and there's two different projects that I really want to do that you guys will get to see happen. I'm going to start working on them hopefully in the next couple of months. We'll see how things go with everything else that's going on right now. But there's something I've wanted to do for ages, and you guys will be able to help me do that and help me get that going. So I'm really looking forward to starting that. I want to do them regardless, but again, it comes down to time. If I don't have a lot of time, it's just going to take longer to get those out there. And you'll also get to see that before any of it really gets released out there, because you'll get a lot of sneak peeks and previews and everything like that. And I'm doing this the same way that I've set up Patreon. There's no tier structure. It's just one simple tier, $4.99 a month, and that gets you access to everything, which you'll be able to see that all on the community page, which is where everything's going on these member videos. They'll get posted up there, and then you will be notified via email when things happen. But I just wanted to let you know that that is happening. That is a new development with the channel, and I'm really hoping that it winds up being successful and it helps me do some of these things that I really want to do. So thank you very much. This video might have to cut it down. It wound up pretty long, but thank you so much. I will see you in the next one. Bye.